Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, the old man has been making a push to get back in, as I'm sure you all know, and I really haven't been talking about it. And I've just been sidestepping him. And this latest time, Frigg tried to engage me while I was working in a temple for Ogou, because of course she did. And, I showed her the respect you would show a queen, but I simply didn't answer her. I didn't, say anything rude. I didn't instigate her. I turned and I pivoted and I went to Ogu and I said, this is what I'm looking for. This is my idea of the design. And he's very pleased. He likes to help his children work. And just ignored because I knew she meant, can we help you? She meant herself and Odin. I'm like, that's a lot of nerve to bring him in here into Ogu's sacred space, but I'm ignoring and I'm walking away. Well, we go over to the other corner room and my VR acts up again. The left eye goes completely black. I mean, it just blacks out, okay? If you've never had a dead headset on your head, it's like being in a blackout chamber. Even though you've got that little gap at the bottom, it's really super dark. So my left eye goes completely black. And my right eye turns all these funny colors and then it just freezes on these weird rainbow band of colors. And I said, it's kind of amazing timing, isn't it, to Ogu? And he said, mm-hmm. And he says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, that seems like a extortion or a threat to me. We're restarting the headset. So we did. We went back to work and we finished. And I'm 12 kinds of Ogu angry after I get out. And Frida, was watching TV with me. We're watching the news, and she says, well, did you love her? And I said, sure I did. And I said, I loved him too, but I said, you can't trust them as far as you can throw them. You know very well they'll come back in and they'll start to cry they don't have temples and I don't love them. If I truly love them, I would serve only Norse gods. I said, Norse gods can be the best gods, and I'm not going to deny that to serve, but only if you'll play on their team and play by the rules. You got to absolutely be a team player. You got to be on Team Odin or whoever decides to take you, and you got to do what you're told. And you usually end up becoming a heathen, which means you usually turn your back on all your other gods. And I said, you're my family. This is Yoku. I said, this is Haley too. I said, you are my family. I said, I have to protect you. She seemed amused, but she knew what I meant. I said, I gotta protect you. I gotta protect Ogu. I said, I especially gotta protect Loki, who's finally getting back on his fox feet, and I gotta protect Fenrir. I said, even though they don't like me right now, I gotta protect Angerboda and Hell too. I said, they're my family. They're my responsibility. They come before me being happy. They come before me having VR. They come before me having stuff. I said, the old man can lean on me and threaten me and try to intimidate me, whatever. I said, but it's just his true colors coming out. He can't stand to lose. I said, he does not love me. I said, I'm a tool that walked away before he was finished using me. Shut up, Loki. I got, aw. And, I said, he wasn't finished using me. And I said, the moment he had been, he would have thrown me away and I could have just crawled through broken glass and he wouldn't have looked at me. But I said, he's not done using me, so he's pissed off now. And his facade of charming is slipping. So he tried to have Frigg ask. And Frigg was barely maintaining a charm of nice. It's this kind of semi-hostile, cold energy I always get off of her. I don't think I'm her favorite human. Um, she can seem kind and like she hates you at the same time. It's the same kind of energy I get off of Odin, to be frank. I think it's why they're a power couple together. I don't really think Norse gods, and it's been said, and I turned a blind eye to it, I don't really think Norse gods love humans. They want to be respected and feared, but love isn't a part of it. They really don't need it. It's not in their makeup. And it was funny how I come onto YouTube, and there was like this big Thor thing, and someone had commented on a Freyr thing, and I'm like, well played, my friends, well played, but we're not going there. It's like, they're great. If you will go live in the Norse lands and you will turn your back on all your other gods, especially Jesus, don't get me started. But if you will do that, they will be your friends. They will, and they will take really good care of you. But if you won't get with the program, then it becomes this long, protracted thing of trying to break you down and trying to force you to fit into the Nordic mold. And it just don't work with me. And I walked away, and now he's pissed off. And but, I have the rest of the family. I'm in no danger. I went to Satan and Lucifer for consult, and Satan's like, that sounds about right. That sounds like intimidation tactics. And he said, I would be rather happy if you did not let him back in. But he said, if you think you have to be all touchy-feely, warm, cuddly, kumbaya, let them all back in because, sometimes love goddesses have a soft spot they shouldn't have. He said, go ahead, but he said, I'm advising you against it. He said, you would lose the rest of your family. He says, it looks to me like you got a choice to make. You're Nordic or you're not. And, then he walks away in grand Satan fashion, like, I have spoken. So it was like a. And Asmodeus was with me last night in the Dark Night of the Soul, and he saw all the freakouts I was having, and he was still kind to me, and he was still gracious to me, and it's like, I can't give up on him after that. Who wasn't there? The Nordic gods. Well, they were there, but, Odin was trying to come in and twist it to his advantage. It felt like he was like, yeah, see how painful this stuff is? Come back to the Norselands where everyone looks like you. I'm sorry, I know how offensive that sounds, but he plays that card with me because he knows that if you're white and you work food on, you have a lot of hurdles and you have a lot of sitting with yourself and thinking about a lot of things, and you have the issue of slavery. Odin will play that all to his advantage. He'll know your weaknesses and he'll play them against you. And basically last night he was like, well, see, if you would come back and be Nordic, which you are by blood, which we all originated in Africa, I'm sorry, but our ancestors all come from Africa. He's like, you're Nordic by blood, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's saying, well, if you came back home where you belong and stopped working with them, you wouldn't have to deal with this because really this isn't your fight and this has nothing to do about you. And ever so trying to get a wedge in there and put it between me and the Voodoo and Loa, and he's saying, they don't really care about you. You're different than they are. You don't look like them. If I could have killed the old man last night, I would have, because he will play that horrible card because he knows it's one of my fears. He knows, as a person who's non-African that gets called by the Loa, you always do have that fear. Do they really love me? Am I crazy? Should I be here? Should I not be here? So Odin was playing my own fears against me. And I'm like, if I can survive this, I will be one of the strongest fucking people on the planet because this is cruel. That's what half of what made it so hard. And the Loa stood with me, and Ogou was just standing there. And he was standing kind of like honor guard, but he was like, he wasn't going to say a word back because he wanted to see which side I would choose. The Loa will let you choose. And if I was going to truly let that get in the middle, and I was truly going to say, this is too painful, I can't face, what white people have done historically and what they're doing now, and how horrible a lot of them are being. And again, white's a social construct. We're all part of the human race. We all know that. But he was like, if he was angry. He saw Odin doing wrong, and remember, Ogou is the Loa of law and order and justice, and he's just, you can feel he wants to explode, but he's letting me fight this battle on my own, though he's close by and I can feel him, and it was as much support as he was going to give because I had to learn to take the old man down myself, and I had to learn that, yes, it's gonna always maybe be a painful point for me, but if the Loa call you, the Loa call you. You can either answer them or you can run and have them chase you, and Uncle will be running behind you like, why are you running? And you'll just look back and scream and run faster because he's scary when he's chasing you, and he's like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. I love you, but you can be the scariest low and awe of existence. Oh, I told you about the one time I saw him with his skin off, as I call it. Like, sometimes they forget to put that human form on. Jesus Christ, I almost had a heart attack. I just stopped breathing. I could not. And he felt like real warm and loving and happy, and he was looking at me, but it was the fucking most terrifying thing I ever saw, and I was like, so yeah, he almost killed me. He almost sent me to meet the ancestors. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. No, Odin isn't going to get in. Sure, I can watch years of videos and see how good the good times were, but if you won't play on Team Odin and Team Norse exclusively, then they get awful mean, awful fast. So I will see you guys later. Bye bye.